Perfect. So let me get started sharing my screen with y'all. Okay, can everyone see my screen? Perfect.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is our, and let me make it to where I can just see our waiting room. Perfect. So this is our financial literacy program called Bite of Reality. We started this program a couple years back. We have done it at many different schools across the state, and we want to hopefully continue to expanding that. We believe that financial literacy should be accessible to everyone. We believe that it is essential to existing in this world and being able to have the life that you want for yourself. And so, because of that belief, we've really put our money and our time where our hearts are. And we developed this Bite of Reality program that we fully fund to be able to allow people and students to gain financial literacy. And as you can see, we got a few pictures on here from our events. One of these pictures, you may notice, we have some blind students in. We're super proud. We just developed a Braille version of our Bite of Reality simulation, and we offer it to students at AIDB, which is Alabama Institute for the Deaf and Blind. So if you have any special accommodations you need for this program for a certain group of students you want us to work with, we are more than happy to do that as well. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started looking into kind of what this program consists of. So the why, like we said, we want to give students a real taste of what the world is actually like when you get into finances and graduate and are no longer on your parents' dime. And we want to give them a greater understanding of saving money, understanding spending habits, and what it actually costs to be an adult in this world today. A lot of times students will get their first job, get their first paycheck, and just instantly blow that cash on some new shoes they've been wanting, something like that, and don't think about the cost of what their future will actually be and how it really starts today, saving for your future. For this program, we do recommend that it is for ages 6th to 12th grade. Typically, we don't do over 100 students at a time, so we'll kind of break it out into groups of different classes or different ages, and the simulation lasts about 1 hour. So when they go into the simulation, they're going to download an app that's online called Bite of Reality 2, which you will actually get the chance to do today. So after I explain kind of how the setup works, we're going to let y'all actually download the app and run through the simulation yourselves. So this shows an example of the profile that the students get on their app. It will assign them an occupation. It will assign them a salary, children, spouse, and a credit score. So that's all up to the luck of the draw, whatever their salary is, if they have kids, if they have a spouse, and if they have a good credit score or not. A lot of students, this is their first introduction to what a credit score is, and that's something they've never had to think about before. After they get their profile assigned, then it also assigns them some negative attributes as well. So unfortunately, they don't all get, wonderful salaries with no debt. They also sometimes get assigned student loan payments, credit card debts, medical insurance copay, spouse's monthly salary, and that will all come out of their fees at the beginning that you'll see themselves. Again, this is just trying to give them a super realistic picture of what it actually looks like to plan your monthly budget as an adult. These are things I personally never thought about in high school. I wish I would have realized that all of these expenses exist when I was trying to pick my career and when I was planning for my future. So this is something we love to get in front of students really young. After they get their whole assigned profile, they will then go up to 8 different vendors. Now this part is within the app and actually in person. So we have 8 tables set around. that are different stations of local volunteers that each represent a different sector of what should comprise their monthly budget. So we have a housing and utility station, transportation station, entertainment, childcare, clothing and personal care, shopping, groceries and dining, and household needs. So in their app, after they get their profiles, they'll be able to walk up to each of these stations and they can go in any order. So it keeps the flow really easy and interactive. And that's where we have our volunteers working the stations who will let them know, hey, transportation, you're gonna need a car or a bus pass to be able to get to your job that you have. So let's talk about your credit score. Let's see what monthly payments you can afford, and let's pick out a car. They'll have the choice to get the nicest luxury car, and a lot of students at their first booth will decide, you know what, I want a really nice car. I want to drive here and do this. But by the time they get to that last booth, they see how far your money actually goes. So it's really fun to see what they choose. We do get a lot of students who buy their spouse a bus pass and get themselves a nice car. So that's always a funny one as well. But they have to go through all these stations and make decisions to comprise their monthly budget. And for our volunteers, we like to get local people who actually work in those sectors. So for our housing and utility station, we usually get a local realtor to come and really talk them through like they're buying a house. They try to upsell them like they would experience in the real world. And the students have to really look at their own personal finances and make decisions even when there's great shiny things in front of them about what's best for them in their life. So now I'm going to show you a little, well, first, one more thing, and then I'll show you a little video. So also throughout the simulation, there's something called the fickle finger of fate. In the actual simulation that we do with the students, this can pop up at any time throughout the process. Today, y'all will all get it at the same time just so we can walk through it together.
Who do you have? I said, baby, she ain't taking new clients. It don't matter.
So with that fickle finger of fate, basically what happens is as they're going through the different little vendor stations, all of a sudden they'll get a notification that will either be something good or something bad, just like what happens in real life. So it might say, hey, your dishwasher broke, $150 is going to be removed from your monthly budget for repairs. So just something unpredictable, just as life goes, that alters their budget. Or it might be something positive. Hey, you saved gas by riding to work with a coworker. We're going to add $30 to your monthly budget. So it really just simulates what they actually experience in real life. And now I'm going to show you a little video of how this setup looks and the flow of the students walking through it. Since today you'll be doing it virtual, that way you can see a little bit more of what the students actually experience when we come and do this program. Welcome to AlaTrust Bite of Reality. Today we're at Jasper High School. We're going to show you how this program runs. The students have different requirements they must complete at each of these merchant stands and make different purchases that they might need in real life. And we try to get actual people in the community to come work the stands that correlate with their business, like a realtor at housing and a car dealer at our auto stand. If students run out of money, and trust me they do, or need advice, they stop in at the credit union. The simulation assigns each student a job, credit score, a spouse, and children to start with, and then they move through the app as they walk to different merchant stands to be able to play the simulation. As they make purchases, their monthly budget updates with their remaining balance. At the start, we explain to the students how they're going to play the simulation, get them all into the app, and then afterwards we give them a recap with some good financial life lessons. And we give a prize to whoever runs out of money first in the game. We give them a little piggy bank to get them started saving. If you would like to do this free simulation at your school, reach out to one of our local branches and we'll get it set up. So that's a little breakdown where you can actually see this live in action of how we run our Bite of Reality simulation. Like I said, at the beginning of each session that we do, we will come and talk to the students just with some financial literacy tips And at the end of the simulation, we'll go through and ask them application questions about things they learned, answer any questions they might have. One me and Shelby just did, we had some really great questions about how do they grow their credit score? How can they prevent themselves from being, assigned such a negative credit score to make decisions for their future? And we were able to kind of walk them through what decisions lead to where you end up, for those monthly budgets, for those credit scores, or any other questions they have. We are actual employees here at the credit union, so we work with finances every day. And when we come to these Bite of Reality simulations, we get volunteers from the community, but we are also there able to answer questions and give that real life banking perspective, and able to help provide that professional insight to the students. So that is one of the perks of working with us to come in and do it. And we're also there to help the students throughout the simulation. When they run into problems or have questions or run out of money, they can stop by our table and we will help them reorganize their budget to allow them to finish the simulation. Also, as well, like I said at the beginning of this presentation, we do fully cover the cost of this program and fully cover the organization and execution of the program. There's really all we need from our partners is a date and time that you'd like us to come, and also to ask your students to download the app ahead of time. If your students do not have phones allowed in school, we can also do it through Chromebook. You will find it usually works a little bit better through the app, but we're flexible to make that work with whatever accommodations you need as well. On top of that, so we provide this Bite of Reality simulation. We are a nonprofit banking institution, so this is a way that we give back to the community. We had a lot of students ask us, how can I get started saving? Or I want to start, a savings account, but I don't have anything to get me going. So something that we do for our Bite of Reality participants is anyone who participates, we do cover their membership fee if they would like to start a savings account. So that's just another way we give back to the students. That's not something we push heavily on them. It's just something that any participants are allowed to start a savings account with us. And that puts them into our Honey Huddle program, which is our kids program that I'm going to show you a little video of next. They have free membership into that after completing the simulation. And we also continue to invest in our students. Anytime they make an A on their report card, they can bring it into the local branch and we pay them $1 for every A that they make. So we don't like this to just stop here. We like to continue to invest in the students in different ways that we can. So we're not just teaching them the tools, but we're giving them the tools to have their best future. This is a little bit about our kids program. We don't show this at our Bite of Reality, but just so y'all are aware.
Hey, I'm Grayson, and this is my sister, Mary Virginia. We're part of something special called the Honey Huddle. It's not just like any club, it's like a secret society for smart money savers. Look at Mary Virginia. She just earned her first D badge by joining the Honey Huddle. And me? Well, I'm cashing in big with the All A's paydays. For every A, AlaTrust puts money in my savings. And the best part, we've joined a local family we can go to as we grow up, save for cars and college and whatever happens after that. So, if you want to join us on our journey to financial literacy, come be a part of the Honey Huddle. Let's make saving money a blast together. See you in the Honey Huddle.
Again with Empowered to Conquer. How far in advance do you all book these? For example, we're getting ready to start our semester in October. How far in advance do you all book these?
So we prefer that you give us at least a 2 to 3 week notice. The reason is every event has a specialized code that's generated. So if you're having us do it live, we have to get a specific code that admits those students in. And that also gives us time to try to find additional volunteers to come to the event to assist us. Our goal, obviously, if we don't have enough, we would reach out to see if you could help us with that, if you have staffing, but we would always like to have a realtor a car vendor, things like that on site. So the students are getting that live experience of talking to a real salesman and a real estate agent. And it just exposes them to different career opportunities as well. They'll have the ability to talk to these vendors at the end and ask questions too. So we asked for at least 2 to 3 weeks notice for these.
And that's
Okay, that's
at the minimum for length. At the maximum, we have some already booked for, like March or April of 2025. So if you have something you want to set far in advance, that's always great too. We can do it as far out as you need.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good to know. Your statement brought up another question though. So if we had other volunteers that wanted to participate, is that an option?
Yeah, so that's always welcome. Like I said, we bring all the materials that the vendors will need to utilize. Essentially, if you've got someone from the community, parents, anything like that that want to participate, they're always welcome. We'll do like a brief run through before the students are brought in to let them know what they're going to be doing at the tables, and then we collect everything at the end. So essentially, the only thing that we would need provided is a space to do the event, and then table and chairs provided. The only reason is because it's going to be really difficult for us to get 18 chairs and 9 tables in and out of our vehicles to set up the event. But we have had some events where parents assist, or they bring in different people from within their organization that's hosting it that also help at the table. So
That's great.
all helping hands are always welcome, especially if you're anticipating a larger group. Because like I said, some of these can be, or like Rachel said earlier, some of these can be up to 100 students at a time. So extra hands and eyes, seeing someone that needs help is always welcome.
And they can also be smaller events too. So we've done, up to 100. If it goes over that, we usually will break it into multiple events, but we've also done smaller events for, 15, 20 students as well. And like I said at the beginning, we're really happy to work with anyone who has different needs that you may need from this program. We just ask additional notice so that we can try to work it out and provide whatever it is that you need for it. We just worked with AIDB to provide a Braille version of this program for the Alabama Institute of the Deaf and Blind. So they can now, all of their students can fully participate. So we're happy to expand this program for any needs that you may have. Just let us know and we can work on that for you. Any additional questions today?
I did have another question.
Okay.
So for the booths and like the different areas with the shopping and the cars and the realtors and things like that, do you guys allow like outside volunteers and whatnot from like if we knew partners and whatnot in those areas to kind of help facilitate a session with you guys?
Yeah, definitely. So we're always looking to grow our volunteer list since we do serve so many different locations, especially if we were to do somewhere like Coosa County. We don't have a set volunteer list for that area yet. So if you have community connections that would love to come help and volunteer, we would appreciate those connections as well. So yes, you are welcome to bring in other partners to run those tables. And we're happy to have them help us out. We'll provide everything that they need to be able to run it. We just need a person there to man the table. So
Gotcha. Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much.
yeah, of course. And if you are interested in booking a Bite of Reality event, you can always contact me or Shelby and just send us a message of where it is you're wanting to do it, what dates you're looking for, and we can kind of collaborate to schedule one. We also have a form on our website, but since now y'all have met us personally, feel free to just email us directly anytime if you have an event that you'd like to schedule. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. This was great. Thank you.